Here's another trip into the Santa Monica Mountains, this time along the Santa Ynez Canyon Trail. And here Jack gets ready to get started at the trailhead just west of Sunset Boulevard, and not too far from the Coast Highway along the Pacific Ocean. And this is all within the Topanga State Park, where there are quite a few trails, most of which we've been on before. And we get the usual cautions for watching out for poison oak and for those nasty ticks, both of which we have also experienced before. And so Jack gets us started on down the trail. It turned out to be a quite pleasant day, with the weather being not too hot and not too cold. And it wasn't too long before we approached our first creek crossing, of which there are quite a few along this hike. The water level, however, was quite low, so it really wasn't much of a problem. The trail continued on through moderate undergrowth, and unfortunately with all too much of it being that infamous poison oak. And we also found some wildflowers, giving us some color along the way. We also found some interesting cave-like rock formations to investigate. Then the trail continued on through some areas with almost a jungle-like landscape, and along with some more creek crossings. And some more areas with some beautiful wildflowers. Then we reached a trail junction with one branch going to the Santa Ynez waterfall and the other to Trippett Ranch, where the Topanga State Park headquarters are located. We had planned on going to the waterfall, and so we took this branch, while noting that this was an unmaintained trail. We found this to be a quite beautiful area, and actually the trail wasn't in bad shape. But then again, we spotted lots of good old poison oak. The trail continued on upstream, heading towards the falls. In a few places the trail did, however, get a little bit tough to navigate, and almost like climbing a ladder. We also noticed the sides of the canyon beginning to close in a little bit, and the canyon itself beginning to narrow. In some places these canyon sides show some interesting rock layers. These are in almost vertical canyon sides, and show what eons of time can produce. But then the trail sort of disappeared. And to continue up towards the falls would require just traversing up the stream bed. Well, this didn't really look too appetizing, but Dale took a look at it and offered to give it a try. And so off he went, at least to get up to the next bend in the stream, to see if he could at least see the falls. But that wasn't the case, so he worked his way on back to where I was standing. At this point we decided we'd call it a day and begin our trip back to our starting point. Unfortunately, after not quite reaching the falls themselves. But anyway, here's what the falls would have looked like if we had gotten there. This picture taken by someone else on a trip up there. The falls being about a 20-foot drop. And so it was back along the trail, along with the various stream crossings, and after an interesting hike of about 3 miles.